What's cracking YouTube? Jamil Damji here, the self-proclaimed king of co-living, and today we're gonna talk about unlocking private money. Why would you wanna do that? Well, a lot of people reach out to me and say, Jamil, I wanna get involved in co-living. I just don't have the 50, 60, or 70K that I need to get into my first deal. And I tell them, you don't need that. You can get it from a private money lender, and then their eyes shoot up and their heads explode, and then they ask, how? So, in this video, we're gonna talk about unlocking private capital. Make sure you watch to the end because I got a special message for my friends. All right, guys, let's check it out. So I've got here 7 methods for unlocking private money lenders, but you'll probably have some others. So of course, listen to what I have over here, but if there's any ideas that this sparks for you, or if there's any sources that you've been looking at for private money lending, please let us know in the comments. So let's start with number 1, buy and hold investors. So current buy and hold investors are great private money lenders. Why? Because they work really hard for some pretty crappy yields. Let's face it, guys, long-term rentals, short-term rentals, mid-term rentals are pooping the bed. They're not making a lot of money, right? We're talking on average $200-300 a month from one house. So these guys are breaking their backs, doing all kinds of crazy work for very little capital to be returned. So where would you find these incredible buy and hold investors? Where are you gonna see them? Well, for me, I go to runinvestorbase.com. Runinvestorbase.com is a website where you can actually input an address and it'll tell you all of the people who are buy and hold investors who bought within a half mile of that subject property. I was using InvestorBase for finding cash buyers for my wholesale business, and it was phenomenal. I was finding buyers in literally 10 minutes for my wholesale deals. And then I realized I can still use InvestorBase for my co-living business because it's given me access to an entire database of buy and hold investors. In fact, I'm talking to these guys about coming in and partnering with me on some of my co-living projects as well. So not only has this brought me private money lenders, but potential partners for me to really scale. I'll keep you guys posted on that. But again, runinvestorbase.com. Try it out for 2 weeks. You got nothing to lose. If you don't like it in 2 weeks and you don't find any money or you don't find any buyers, cancel it. All right, number 2, self-directed IRAs or 401ks. This one is huge. I bet you right now, if I was to ask, do you have a 401k? Do you have a self-directed IRA? And you're probably saying, yeah. And does it perform well? And you're probably saying, no. Now, if it's a regular IRA, not likely performing well. Self-directed, maybe you're doing okay because you're directing it. You're the one maybe putting it in real estate investments or some other types of funds that are outperforming the wealth manager who's taking care of your IRA. But mostly, these things are performing at 5% or less. And we've seen that co-living can get you returns of over 20%. So why let your money sit and underperform when you can unlock that money and literally put it into deployment in a co-living model, which is gonna return you 3 or 4 times what the money manager is gonna get you, right? So if you have an IRA, if you have a 401k, and it's just sitting and it's underperforming, you should really look to unlock that. And if you want a resource on unlocking your IRA or unlocking your 401k, just leave me a comment in the comment sections, just write unlock. We'll reach out to you and help you with that process. I am not in the business of that, so full disclosure, it's not my thing, but I know some really good people that won't take advantage of you that'll help you unlock that money. So write unlocked in the comments and I'll connect you to those people. All right, number 3, Amy Majuri, this one's for you. My really good friend, Amy Majuri, the owner of Hello Rentals and one of the premier private money lending strategists in the entire country, has coined the most incredible statement, I think, that exists in all of private money lending universe. And it is looking for people who are interested in double-digit returns backed by real estate. In fact, she teaches people that no matter where you go, whether you're in the backseat of an Uber, scanning groceries, if you're at your hairdresser, if you are getting your oil changed, when people ask, what do you do for a living? You tell them, I'm an investor who helps others get double-digit returns backed by real estate. That should be your go-to phrase all the time, right? Because you're in the business of getting people double-digit returns backed by real estate. People are gonna naturally ask, oh really? Tell me more. Now, if they don't ask for more information, they probably don't have any money to invest with you anyways, but for anyone who is looking for good investments, if you say that you can get double-digit returns for them and that they're backed by real estate, so they're secure and they're high yield, you're gonna be a pretty popular person. And the more you do this, the more seeds you plant out there, the more conversations you start, the more potential private money lenders you'll have. Now, I've got personal private money lenders from all different industries. I got private money lenders in the railroad industry. I have private money lenders who own hair salons. I have private money lenders who are big music producers. I have private money lenders that are electricians, right? There are so many different people out there in different vocations that are sitting on liquid money that they don't know what to do with. And of course, their regular old savings account isn't giving them anything special anyways. So if you can give them double-digit returns backed by real estate, you might be into something. All right, number 4, high net worth individuals. Now, you might be wondering, okay, Jamil, easy for you to say. You're rich. You go to Mastro's for dinner and you eat at expensive restaurants and you sit in first class in the airplane. And so there's lots of people that you rub shoulders with that are high net worth. And you are right. That's where I meet a lot of high net worth people. I meet them in the airport lounge. I meet them in first class. I meet them at networking events. I meet them in masterminds. I meet them in places that cost me money to get into. But if you don't have the money to get into those rooms, how do you navigate? So one of the best ways that I found is outreach to those people. Now, if you want to find where the rich people live in your neighborhood, go to Zillow. Look at all of the areas where homes are worth over $1 million, and then find the most prestigious streets in those areas, and then send direct mail to those homes, letting them know that you're an investor who finds people double-digit returns backed by real estate, and if they have any interest, to give you a call. Now, of course, make sure you check with your securities attorney. Make sure that you're following all of the appropriate guidelines that the SEC puts out, because I do not want you doing anything that's going to get you into trouble. But if you follow the right processes and if you market to the right people, you will find some very high net worth people who really don't know what to do with their excess powder capital. And if you can give them double-digit returns backed by real estate, again, they may be likely to give you a shot. So don't sleep on those high net worth zip codes. Send out a test of 100 postcards. What do you got to lose? All right, number 5, my favorite, communities. Yes, communities like the Housing Alchemy community that I've been putting together with my sister. We've got people in there who aren't necessarily wanting to do a co-living home, but they've got the money to do it. They just want to partner with somebody who's going to do some of the heavy lifting for them. So you can find them there. Also, communities like the Gator community. That's a community entirely full of private money lenders. Everybody in Gator is a private money lender wanting to give you money. In addition to that, within my Housing Alchemy community, I've brought private money lenders to the table. So my students are actually getting their down payments funded for them. They're getting their renovation costs funded for them. They're actually coming into a lot of their deals with no money out of pocket. Why? Because they're in my community, and my lenders trust them because they know they're being taught by somebody who understands the game, knows what they're doing. So they feel like their investments are secure. Also, they know that we're not going to send them A, down the wrong deal, B, to the wrong contractor, and C, let them overpay. So there's a lot of extra security that's there for those people because they know the proximity, they know who they're involved with. So communities are phenomenal places to find private money lenders. In fact, if you look at the sub-2 community for that matter, there's over 20,000 people in sub-2. Now, not all of them are going to be interested in actually participating in active deals. A lot of those guys just want a good place to put their money. So sub-2 would be a phenomenal spot to go in and raise private capital, right? Are you catching up? Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? So a lot of you all think, man, I don't want to pay $10,000 to join Pace's community. I don't want to pay $7,800 to join Jamil's Housing Alchemy community. And that's how you sound when you say that, because when you have that attitude of like, hey, I'm not willing to invest to do something, you're probably not a good partner or a good fit for us anyways, right? The people who really know how to make money understand that sometimes you got to spend it to get it. All right, number 6, fix and flippers. These guys are struggling right now, big time. In fact, when I was fixing and flipping, I was lucky if I was getting 10% return on my projects. Straight up, I would break my back. I would take massive risks. I would do so much brain damage for 10%. For 10%. I am ashamed of myself right now for all of the work that I did for 10%. When now I'm literally getting 20, 30 infinite returns on my co-living. So all of these poor suckers out there right now who are sitting on flips that don't know what to do, that don't know what to do next, that are scared, that are wondering, do they need to go find a new career? These guys are ripe to get involved involved in co-living with you. Maybe get them in on your first couple of deals and show them the ropes, teach them what you're learning, explore the model with them, and then maybe you all partner up in the future. Maybe you become the boots on the ground. Maybe you become the heavy lifter and they just become the financier. There's lots of ways to structure these opportunities, but I'm telling you, these guys right now, they're not happy. These guys are not making any money right now. They're losing money and they're looking for better deals. They're looking for better situations. You could be the person to bring them the golden goose. So don't sleep on the fix and flippers. Number 7, all of the folks sitting on struggling short-term rentals right now. These guys, they are underwater. They are not making any money. They are upside down on their investments. These guys would love to convert into a co-living. Now imagine if you approach somebody with a short-term rental right now and said, hey, what if I convert your short-term rental and turn it into a co-living? You're underwater right now. You're not making any money. Would you split the upside with me? Pretty good proposition, right? I would like 50% of something rather than 0% of negative. Think of it, right? You're taking them from a proposition where they're losing money to one where they're making money. So why wouldn't that be worth something for them? Maybe you show them how to sell off their short-term rental and reinvest that capital into a co-living deal. Same things happening with long-term rentals. Same things happening with midterm rentals. These guys are not cash flowing well enough. They're not making any money. One broken water heater, one roof repair, one electrical malfunction, and their entire year is done. That sucks. You could be the person who changes that entire framework with them by introducing them to this incredible model of co-living. So guys, here was 7 places where you can unlock private money lenders. If you have any ideas or tips or anywhere else that you found private money lenders, leave that comment in the comment section below. I'm super interested to hear how you guys are getting creative, where you're finding money. Of course, never forget the HELOC or home equity lines of credit or other investments that you may be sitting on. But guys, now is the time. We are in the perfect storm for co-living. We have billions of dollars coming into the United States for co-living investments. We have massive zoning reform happening all over the country. We have low retail buyer demand, which gives you an opportunity to buy properties for great deals. We still have record high property values that allow you to get high appraisals so you can pull your money out of these deals. And so this perfect storm, it's ripe for co-living. Maybe you should go hit up some of those who are in the forums of Bigger Pockets and show them how to really make money. Guys, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and tell the folks at Bigger Pockets I said hello.